For the past few months, Lisa's health hasn't been at its best. She woke up every morning feeling fatigued and nauseous. She couldn't find the energy to move around anymore, but the worst of all her symptoms were the severe cramps in her abdomen that sometimes made her feel like she would pass out. Lisa was concerned and extremely unhappy with her health and her body. She was young, and she had always been healthy and fit. As far as Lisa recalled, this all suddenly began about 6 months back when she inherited her father's farm in her hometown in Schulenburg, Texas. And soon after, the unusual symptoms began. The sickness was rather strange, but Lisa knew why this had been happening to her. She suspected her husband, Ryan. It wasn't just after she had inherited all the property and wealth, but even before that, they had become quite distant. Lisa had felt like their relationship was falling apart, and Ryan might have been seeing someone else. And now, after all this, she couldn't help but think Ryan was slow poisoning her so that he could claim all the inheritance himself. Lisa was sure something wasn't right. The symptoms all indicated it. She was being poisoned one way or the other. The only thing now was for Lisa to know for sure. So she went to the doctors and had some tests done, but the test results showed nothing. Mrs. Gyllenhaal, I checked the reports from all the blood and urine tests. They came out absolutely fine. There was no trace of any poison found in either. But doctor, I still feel horrible. My condition, it's only gotten worse over these months. You can see the results for yourself. Your body is healthy. There is no poison whatsoever. It's all in your mind. It's not real. But what I will advise you is to get a lot of sleep, exercise, and eat healthy foods. You're absolutely fine, Mrs. Gyllenhaal. But Lisa knew she wasn't fine. She was strong, she was fit, and she was always on the run, but now she was nothing but a sick, miserable patient. What was it that happened in these 6 months that caused her health to fall like this? Yet another horrible day had gone by for Lisa. Sometime midday, she had collapsed into bed with cramps. The pain was so intense, everything started to black out. When she woke up, it was around 7. The house was feeling warm. A sweet, comforting smell in the air. Lisa walked out to find Ryan had come home from work. She could hear the sound of running water in the kitchen. And in just minutes, Ryan came out, bringing out a tray of food to the table. "Did you have a good nap?" "What's that?" "You've been so much under the weather lately. I made some beef and bean chili for you. I know you like it. I put a lot of garlic. I hear they're loaded with antibiotics, so it's good for you." Lisa watched as Ryan arranged her food, poured her a glass of juice, and dipped a nice big soup spoon in her chili bowl. Ryan loved to cook, and he was always surprising Lisa by making her different kinds of dishes. And usually, Lisa enjoyed them. But not anymore. She couldn't take the chances. He was being so loving, caring, and nourishing, but it all might just be an act. Lisa couldn't trust him. "I'm actually not feeling well. I don't want to eat right now. Maybe later. I'm going to go lay down." "Alright, but you can't miss out on dinner, okay? You're only going to get more sick." Lisa turned to go to her room. Down the hall, she peered back at Ryan, sitting down at the table, and began eating the chili himself. But Lisa was still scared to eat that concoction. Is he slow poisoning me or the both of us? But he's healthy. Who knows what he put in my bowl? Later on that night, Lisa made up an excuse that she was craving takeout and ordered food from outside. She paid the delivery guy, took the package, and planned to eat in bed. She dropped by the kitchen to grab a bottle of water when she suddenly caught a glimpse of Ryan in the study. He was talking on the phone. "You know our plans for tomorrow."
"I can't wait, Ryan. I've been looking forward to it."
Lisa furrowed her brows, faintly hearing the voice of a woman over the line as she tiptoed towards the door. Who was he talking to? Catching him off guard, Lisa opened the door. Ryan hurriedly put the phone down. "How are you feeling, sweetheart?" "Who were you talking to?" "Oh, it's nobody. It's from work." He was such a liar. "Are you going to be free tomorrow?" "Why, sweetheart?" I had an appointment at the doctor's. Ryan got up, shaking his head. Lisa, you've become paranoid. You have to stop taking all these tests. No results are coming from them. The doctors have told you already it's all in your mind. It's not real. No, I've never been sick like this. I know, but if you start eating healthy, exercising, and relieve your mind, you'll feel better. It's not like that. There has to be something wrong with me. And I even know the reason, Lisa said, fiercely giving Ryan a glance. Ryan stared back at her. What do you mean? You're sick because you married me? I'll find out. What? How can you blame me for your sickness? What have I done? Do you think I've been poisoning your food? Did you not already do the test? If this isn't paranoia, what is? You know what, Lisa? I just can't. I can't have this conversation over and over again with you. After the heated argument, Lisa was in no mood to eat anymore. She put the food away and went straight to bed. And it was some time late into the night that Ryan joined her. Of course he would disapprove of her visiting the doctor. She was eager to find a solution, but he wanted something else. In the past week, Lisa had noticed her condition became even more severe. It was becoming difficult for her to bear the pain, but what was worse than that, she was suddenly losing her sense of consciousness, snapping back to temporarily having no memory of what just happened. Things obviously weren't going in the right direction. And despite what Ryan thought, Lisa went to the doctor's. Hello, Mrs. Gyllenhaal. I'm Dr. Emily, Dr. Carter's intern. He hasn't been able to come in today, so I'll be taking his place. Good morning, Dr. Emily. I can see your reports state the past test results were absolutely fine. You're healthy. Except for the recent weight loss, there hasn't been any significant change. Have you been stressing lately? Have you been eating properly? Doctor, stress and my diet are the least of my problems right now. My health has only worsened. I have so much pain. I can't sleep at night. I'm forgetting things. I know the tests are negative, but there has to be something wrong with me. I was never like this. How long has this been happening? About 6 months. Ever since I visited my hometown in Texas. After Lisa had inherited the property, she and Ryan had gone there for a visit to settle some paperwork. And while she was at it, Lisa planned to meet the Millers. They were the caretakers living on the farm. Welcome, Lisa. Look at you. The last time we saw you, you were a little kid. Your father used to bring you for pumpkin picking every season. Yes, I remember, Mrs. Miller. Those were the good days. You're staying here, aren't you? I'm only visiting here as your guests, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. I just wanted to let you know, after Father's demise, the ownership to this farm has passed on to me. But when he was alive, both of you took care of this property, and even now, I want this responsibility to remain with you. Thank you, dear. You've grown up so much. We're really happy you came to visit. You have to try out the fresh milk and cheese here. I've prepared our very own roasted ham and vegetables from the field. You won't find these back in the city. That's so kind of you. I can't wait to try everything out, Mrs. Miller. Lisa had truly enjoyed the visit, the kind gestures and hospitality of Mr. and Mrs. Miller. However, the day ended rather horribly when she fell sick and had to return home. I think I know what happened with you. Let's get an MRI done right away. And I'll call you myself and give you the results in 24 hours. So Lisa got the MRI done that day and returned home sometime around the evening. Just a few hours spent outside, and she was feeling so exhausted. She went straight to bed and fell asleep. The next day, she was eagerly waiting for the test results, and it was in the afternoon that she received a call from Dr. Emily. Mrs. Gyllenhaal, the results to your test came in, and I have good news for you. The cause behind your health issues have been found. What I suspected turned out to be true. Your MRI scans revealed a parasite, perhaps one that entered your body when you ate something at that farm. And over these months, it thrived inside your body until it became a big issue for your health. Is there any way to rid my body of this parasite? Yes, Mrs. Gyllenhaal. It will be a small operation in which we'll remove the parasite, and you should recover in no time. I've prepared everything already, and the sooner we get the procedure done, the better. Lisa got her operation done that very day, and thanked Dr. Emily profusely for everything she had done for her. Ryan brought Lisa home again. I'm going to work. Are you sure you'll be alright all alone? I'm feeling better already. Lisa felt a little weak, but back to her old self again. And most of all, she was relieved. She stared at Ryan as he left for work, awfully regretful of the fact that she had suspected him to be behind this. Something was killing her for sure, but it wasn't him. Lisa wanted to make up for everything, and she wanted to fix their relationship again. And it would all start with an apology when he returned home. When Ryan returned home, he was surprised to see Lisa had prepared dinner for them. Lisa, why did you do all of this? You still need rest, don't you? I told you, Ryan, I'm better now, and I'm really sorry for the way I treated you all these months. I don't know what was going on in my mind. It was the meal we had back on the farm in Texas this whole time. I'm really sorry, sweetheart. It's all right. Now come on, sit down. I made a special cake for you. Let me go bring it. As Lisa went off to bring the cake, Ryan sat down, staring at all the food on the table, clenching his jaws in disappointment. Lisa didn't get that parasite from eating at the farm. It was Ryan who had been giving Lisa parasites in her food since then. Parasites that would infest her body and kill her. Sometimes you kill people with poison, but Ryan was cunning enough to figure he would get caught. He had lost interest in Lisa a long time ago. She was right to suspect he was cheating on her, because he was. She was right to suspect he wanted the inheritance, because he did. He wanted Lisa out of his life, and it was only some time more, if only the doctors hadn't found out. But of course, there were always other ways. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.